Hello again, everyone. I'm Dark717. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at one of the newest straight-to-flyable ships that arrived during IAE 2951. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Help me out with that YouTube algorithm, and also follow over on Twitch where you can catch our stream. The Argo RAFT, or Reinforced Advanced Fortified Transport, well, really the name says it all. This is the latest from Argo. It did go straight to flyable during IAE 2951, as I mentioned. Designed as a dedicated cargo ship, this differs really from any other cargo vessel in the verse, as it's just that, cargo and cargo only. The ship is not designed or intended to load or haul other items like vehicles or even personnel. Designed using a drop container style system, it uses 3 container modules, each capable of holding 32 SCU of cargo. This gives it a total cargo capacity of 96 SCU. Now, currently in-game, these containers are fixed to the rear of the vehicle and cannot be released or dropped. In the future, as they've stayed with the 318 cargo refactor, these will become removable, allowing for the ability to do drop and go functionality. The ship itself does hold very true to the standard Argo styling, very reminiscent of the interior of the Argo Mole and the standard orange exterior. Currently, I'd expect that the RAFT's going to be placed in-game for purchase at or around patch 3.16.1 or later, following past timeframes from a ship's launch. But the RAFT can be pledged currently for $125 US through the pledge store, and there are available war bonds. I would expect after IAE that it would remain available for pledge for some time, though the status of the war bonds is unsure at this moment as to whether those will continue or if those will be cut off. Its pledge price does make it a great candidate for a starter pack, though it's not currently set up as one. Also introduced with the RAFT, of course, were several additional paints that you can choose to purchase as well. 3 paints are available, which include the Anchor, the Hazard, which are each $4.50 US, and of course the Polar paint, which is $7 US. There's also a combo pack, which includes all 3 at $12.50 US, and that saves you a little bit on all those paints. As stated, the Argo RAFT is classified as a light freight vehicle with an industrial focus and purpose. It's a size 3 ship, its length is going to be 39.5 meters, width is 12 meters, and the height is 23 meters. So it is just a hair smaller than the Argo Mole. Its top speed is going to be 135 meters per second, and it has an afterburner speed of 840 meters per second. Hydrogen fuel capacity is going to be 2,284,275 liters, and a quantum fuel capacity of 27,585 liters, and it utilizes a max crew of 2. Stock, you'll find that the Argo RAFT is fairly well equipped with little extra needed. What it comes with out of the gate is going to be 2 size 2 Aspis industrial shield generators, which are a grade C, 2 size 2 Diligence industrial power plants, also a grade C, 2 size 2 Cool Core industrial coolers, grade C as well, 1 size 2 Bowling Quantum Drive, which you guessed it, is also a grade C, and that's going to give you a Port Olisar to Hurston time of 7 minutes and 32 seconds, Port Olisar to ArcCorp time of 9 minutes and 46 seconds, and Port Olisar to Microtech at 13 minutes and 8 seconds. With this Bowling Drive, no fuel stops are required for any of these transits. Now, for the most part, the cost versus additional performance to upgrade all the systems, I really have a hard time recommending doing it. One thing I would definitely recommend is to, at a minimum, upgrade the Quantum Drive to an XL1. By doing so, you're putting no additional strain on the other components, and you're cutting significant time off your travels. The XL1 has a cost of 94,900 AUEC, and it can be found at Cousin Crow's on Orison or at Port Tressler at the Platinum Bay. Expensive, sure, but travel times are as follows. Port Olisar is going to get cut down to 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which is a reduction of 5 minutes and 13 seconds. ArcCorp is going to be only 3 minutes and 24 seconds, which is going to cut off 6 minutes and 22 seconds of time. And the biggest gain is going to be Microtech at 4 minutes and 21 seconds, reducing your travel time by 8 minutes and 47 seconds. That's 1/3 the actual time that it would take you with the stock Quantum Drive to go from Olisar to Microtech. Weapons on the RAFT are very limited stock. Comes with a dual size 3 M5A laser cannon turret. This is operated remotely by the co-pilot, and though it does have the ability to mount a pair of size 1 weapons under the cockpit for pilot control, it does not come stock with anything there, and it has to be outfitted by the owner. I've spent a couple days now flying the Raft and using it for various operations. Overall, I'm actually very happy and surprised at how easy it is to fly. It's very responsive, and though very much on the slow side, this is what I would expect though based on its use and intended purposes. Generally, it performed better than what I was actually expecting with the exception of the stopping distance. This actually turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it was something I quickly grew accustomed and comfortable with and wasn't really that big of a deal. So one big thing as you're approaching landing areas or stations, make sure you're paying attention to your speed and adjusting appropriately as you need to. The interior is set up actually very nicely over 2 decks, with an elevator for access from the pad and a lower level docking collar right next to the pilot house. As you enter the elevator to the top floor, you're going to find the engineering space where all your components are housed and protected behind doors. Here you'll also find the engineer station as well as the cargo master station, which overlooks the rear of the ship to monitor the cargo containers, and in future it's going to also assist with picking up and dropping containers during jobs. As you go down the forward right component room, you're going to find a ladder that leads down to the lower level, and this will bring you to the area that has storage for 2 suits per crew member to hang when they're not in use. Follow this out to the main galley and sleeping area, and you're going to find a dining and lounge area with 2 sleeping pods that also act as your escape pods. Going through the door will bring you to the central entry of the ship with the airlock door to the left and the bridge door directly ahead. The bridge is well designed with a pilot and co-pilot seat. The typical Argo orange MFDs are present, and the pilot house is situated on the lower floor of the ship and still provides adequate visibility to the area surrounding you. The ship itself though has a decent size, and the interior really takes up a very small portion of the raft. Overall, the ship itself is limited. I will say that its biggest detriment is that it is a single role vessel, or in layman's terms, it's a one-trick pony. The Raft is intended as a competitor to the Freelancer, which I agree in many ways it is. When comparing things side by side, it comes very close to equal between these two, with one huge exception and benefit going to the Freelancer. In comparison, pledge price wise, the Raft is $125 versus the Freelancer's $110. Keep in mind the Freelancer though is purchasable in-game and rentable in-game, which is definitely one bonus over the Raft. Cargo space, the Raft beats out the Freelancer with 96 SCU, where the Freelancer itself only has 66 SCU. The overall size of the 2 ships is very negligible. They're very close to each other, and it's not even a factor for comparison. Hull HP, though, is going to be definitely in favor of the Raft. The Raft has a hull HP of 41,751, where the Freelancer's is 19,200. So the Freelancer is actually less than half of what the Raft has. Speed is definitely going to go in the Freelancer's favor here. The Raft is going to top out at 135 meters per second SCM speed, and then with an afterburner, they're going to be able to hit 840 meters per second, where the Freelancer is going to beat it out with 154 meters per second SCM speed, and at afterburner, it's going to be 1,005 meters per second. Now, the Raft will also outperform the Freelancer on fuel capacity and maneuverability, as well as the Raft does not suffer from the oversteer that the Freelancer series have. But a few things that the Freelancer has over the Raft is 1, defenses with dual size 3 pilot-controlled turrets and an available missile complement. So the ability to defend itself and fight definitely goes to the Freelancer. A second ability of the Freelancer outshines the Raft is versatility. The Freelancer has an open bay. This means you can load ground vehicles. Though limited, you can get a Cyclone, a PTV, a Rock in there, where with the Raft, the cargo containers cannot be open and you cannot load your own stuff into them, whether it be vehicles, boxes, or people. The last ability the Freelancer has is variety, especially in the cargo area with the availability of the Freelancer Max series, which though higher costs at $150 pledge, it does outcarry the Raft by 26 SCU. I feel the ship itself is very well designed and truly sticks with the feel of an Argo vehicle. It handles beautifully and it's very intuitive. Though it does have its pros and cons in comparison to its competitors, this is a vehicle I plan on holding on to specifically to transport my refined mining jobs that my prospector brings in, as the SCU capacity is perfect to make runs every 3 completed mining runs. Where I do not personally see myself using it is going to be in actual dedicated cargo trading from station to station. Now that's only because I do have larger, more versatile cargo ships such as the C2, the Caterpillar, and the Max, but I can definitely keep my raft stored at the refinery that I usually operate out of and just make the short trips as needed to take in the refined materials. But for someone that is trying to get started and looking for a place between the Freelancer and the Freelancer Max, it is a good stepping stone, and I can definitely recommend that it will fill that gap and provide a suitable and capable dedicated cargo runner. Thank you for watching my first impression on the Argo RAFT. I hope it's been informative for you and helpful in any questions that you may have. Please feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of the Argo RAFT. If you either tried one over at IAE or you pledged one yourself, I'd love to hear your opinions. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button though, follow on Twitch. You can catch our stream over there every Wednesday and Sunday night. And even though we took the last week off from streaming, we'll be returning on December 4th with our State of the Verse podcast going over all the latest and greatest news in the Star Citizen universe. Also hit that join button up top if you really enjoy the videos and get a membership that starts as low as 99 cents a month to help support the channel. Or you can visit the Patreon or the merch store, links are going to be in the description. All of the support is greatly appreciated and I want to just thank you for watching and we will catch you next time.